The Beatles are widely regarded as one of the most influential musical acts in history. Their journey from humble beginnings in the Cavern Club to creating iconic albums like Abbey Road is a testament to their innovation, growth, and ability to shape the course of music. Formed in Liverpool in 1960, the Beatles, comprising John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, quickly became a global phenomenon, breaking new ground in rock and roll and influencing generations of musicians across the world. The early years of the Beatles were marked by a relentless commitment to honing their craft. The band spent several years performing in small clubs around Liverpool, notably the Cavern Club, where they first began to build a loyal following. It was here, playing nearly every night, that the Beatles developed their sound, honed their stage presence, and gained crucial experience. At the time, they were still very much rooted in the rhythm and blues tradition, playing covers of songs by artists like Chuck Berry, Little Richard, and Elvis Presley. Their energetic performances and youthful charisma quickly attracted attention, and they soon caught the eye of Brian Epstein, a local music manager who would play a crucial role in their success. In 1962, with Epstein at the helm, the Beatles made their first major recording contract with EMI's Parlophone label. The release of their debut single, Love Me Do, marked the beginning of their rise to stardom. The song was simple yet infectious, featuring the harmonica of Lennon and McCartney's distinctive melodic lines. Though the song was initially met with modest success, it was clear that the Beatles were onto something special. Their second single, Please Please Me, became a massive hit, propelling them into the spotlight and making them national stars. By 1963, they were a household name in the UK, and soon after, their fame spread worldwide. The Beatles' early albums, including Please Please Me and With the Beatles, were filled with catchy melodies and infectious pop hooks. These albums were heavily influenced by the sounds of American rock and roll, but the Beatles began to experiment with more diverse genres as they gained confidence. This experimentation would become a hallmark of their career, and by the time they released Rubber Soul in 1965, their sound had evolved considerably. Rubber Soul marked a departure from their earlier, more straightforward pop sound, incorporating elements of folk, blues, and Indian music. The album's introspective lyrics and more complex arrangements signaled the beginning of a new era for the Beatles, one where they would push the boundaries of what popular music could be. As the 1960s progressed, so too did the Beatles' musical evolution. Their 1967 album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, is often considered one of the greatest albums of all time, showcasing the band's ability to blend innovative studio techniques, avant-garde ideas, and complex musical structures. The album was a bold step into psychedelic rock, with tracks like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and A Day in the Life, demonstrating their ever-expanding creative horizons. Sgt. Pepper was not only a critical success, but also a cultural milestone, reflecting the countercultural movements of the time and cementing the Beatles' status as cultural icons. The Beatles' transition from live performances to studio-based work also marked a significant shift in their approach to music. After their final concert tour in 1966, the Beatles focused exclusively on creating music in the studio, where they had complete control over the production process. This allowed them to experiment with new sounds, recording techniques, and instrumentation, ultimately changing the way albums were made. The White Album, 1968, a sprawling double LP, showcased the band's versatility, with songs ranging from the raw, stripped back in the USSR, to the experimental Revolution 9. The album marked a moment of both unity and division within the band, as tensions began to rise between the members. Despite internal conflicts, the Beatles' creativity remained undiminished. Their final studio album, Abbey Road, 1969, is considered one of their finest achievements. The album's production is polished and cohesive, with the band members working more closely together than they had in years. Songs like Come Together, Something, and Here Comes the Sun highlight the band's continued ability to blend different styles, from rock to ballads to experimental sounds. The iconic medley on the second side of the album, which seamlessly weaves multiple short songs together, demonstrated the Beatles' willingness to take risks and experiment with form. Abbey Road became a fitting farewell, as it was the last album the band recorded together before their breakup in 1970. While the breakup of the Beatles in 1970 marked the end of an era, the legacy of their musical journey from the Cavern Club to Abbey Road continues to influence artists and listeners alike. Their albums remain timeless, and their impact on popular music is immeasurable. The Beatles proved that music could be both entertaining and transformative, combining creativity, innovation, and social consciousness in ways that had never been seen before. The Beatles' evolution as artists, from their early days in Liverpool to the groundbreaking albums of the late 1960s, changed the way we think about music. Their experimentation with new sounds, their cultural relevance, and their willingness to challenge the status quo made them a unique force in music history. Even today, the Beatles' influence continues to be felt across genres, from pop to rock to electronic music, ensuring that their legacy endures for generations to come.